Every year in June, the EUDA, or the European Union Drugs Agency, formerly known as the EMCDDA, puts out the European Drug Report. The report collates together the national data sets that cover the areas of drug supply, illicit drug use, and related health problems. Key harm reduction interventions are also highlighted. During this presentation, we will look at some of the main findings and, where relevant, how they apply to the Irish situation. The central message of the 2025 European Drug Report's analysis is that the impact of the use of illicit drugs is now seen almost everywhere in society. Almost everything with psychoactive properties has the potential to be used as a drug. This means that everyone, whether directly or indirectly, can be affected by illicit drug use and problems associated with it. The report also highlights the fact that most drugs are readily available. Such drugs are, however, missold in that the consumer may be sold an entirely different drug to what they thought they were purchasing, or the purchased drug is adulterated with other substances. Therefore, polydrug consumption is common, whether by choice or otherwise. In addition, the EUDA is noting a growing concern around the levels of drug-related violence across Europe and how this is often connected to younger people. All this means that the European drug scene is a complex one and therefore requires thoughtful and nuanced responses. We will now turn to looking at individual substances, and we will begin with cannabis. The lifetime figure means that a person has used at least once in their lifetime, and the last year figure refers to current use, at least in the last year. All figures are for people aged 15 to 64. As we can see, the Irish figures are broadly in line or slightly below what we would commonly expect to see across Europe. Statistics relating to drug treatment portray a picture where cannabis plays an increasing role. This may be related to the increased levels of THC, the psychoactive ingredient in cannabis. We also have the appearance of new forms of cannabis and developments in the way in which it can be consumed. Further research is, however, needed to confirm the situation. Recent years have also seen the appearance of a new range of cannabis-based products across Europe. Containing very low levels of THC, they present a challenge for regulatory, legal, and health authorities alike. HHC featured in the 2025 report, but events have moved on and the product is now illegal in Ireland. Currently, it is unknown how strong the demand for the product will be now. It may still be obtained from abroad from places where it is still currently legal, or people selling it illegally in Ireland itself. Next up, ecstasy. Prevalence levels in Ireland are over twice the European average. A significant part of the picture here is the use of MDMA at music festivals. The likelihood of someone requiring medical attention due to overdosing can be driven by people taking higher strength pills or MDMA powder. These were certainly picked up at the drug monitoring events such as that electric picnic that the HSE put in place. The report clearly showed the continued production of higher strength pills and powders of MDMA. At least half of the reporting countries noted the average amount of MDMA in a tablet to be around 145 milligrams. Such strength is high by historical standards and may lead to higher numbers of hospital presentations. Cocaine use too is significantly above European averages. Of concern is the fact that it now accounts for a larger proportion of those who present with a drug overdose, and probably as a consequence of such experiences, seek specialist drug treatment for the first time. Europe reported a record amount of cocaine seizures, topping over 400 tons for the first time. Belgium, Spain and Netherlands remain the countries reporting the highest volume of seizures, reflecting their importance as entry points for cocaine traffic to Europe. Irish figures include a good deal of cocaine that is thought to be in transit to elsewhere. As the second most illicit drug in Europe, Concerns around the effects of cocaine are increasing, not least because of the strain it may put on emergency services and hospitals. Treating people with problems associated with their cocaine use is challenging, whether they are clients that are more socially integrated and involved in casual or episodic use of powder cocaine, or more marginalized groups injecting the drug or smoking crack cocaine. Ketamine has several legitimate uses in both human and veterinary medicine and can therefore be more difficult to track. The combining of ketamine with other drugs such as cocaine and alcohol can lead to a range of harms, both physical and psychological. Some users are not aware that they are taking the drug, and in particular its dissociative properties. This is especially true with current interest in 2CB or pink cocaine or 2C, going by various names. Fueled by social media, anything as sold as 2C is likely to be made up of a range of different drugs every time, the only common factor being the pink food dye that is used. Heroin remains Europe's most commonly used illicit opioid and is responsible for a large share of the health burden attributed to illicit drug consumption. Europe's opioid problem, however, continues to evolve in various ways that are likely to have important implications for how we address issues in this area. The primary fact here is that heroin users as a group are getting older and may experience other age-related medical conditions. Currently, synthetic opioids play a relatively small role in the drug market of Europe overall, but they are a significant problem in some countries, and there are signals that they could have the potential to play a larger role in Europe's drug problems in the future. While stockpiles of heroin are still in evidence, the crackdown on Afghan production is likely to impact on the market in the next year or so. This may see a move towards the use of both synthetic and semi-synthetic opioid products such as fentanyl and nitazenes. As with cannabis, we have seen the emergence of new synthetic and semi-synthetic opioids. Fentanyl has now become a part of the opioid scene in recent years, but a new range of opioids known as nitazenes have also begun to appear. Every year, new psychoactive substances are detected throughout Europe. Despite new legislation, the amount of drugs seized has again risen. We have already mentioned nitazenes, which come into this category, but the main subcategory here is synthetic cathinones. They can be sold by themselves, but more commonly turn up in more well-known drugs such as ecstasy. If we combine synthetic cathinones with amphetamine, methamphetamine, and the various derivatives, then we can identify another dynamic part of the overall drugs market. The European Drug Report argues that there is a need for more focus in this area, not least because of the use of stimulants on the chemsex scene and the number of increased presentations noted in emergency departments. Whilst methamphetamine, more commonly known as crystal meth, is clearly part of the drug environment in Ireland, especially on the chemsex scene, the significant level of seizures in Ireland are more likely to be part of a bigger picture of drug smuggling to other parts of the globe. Other drugs have also recently raised concerns in certain countries and cities around Europe. The misuse of solvents, and in particular the breathing in from a balloon filled with nitrous oxide or laughing gas, has become common in party hotspots around Europe. Drugs such as LSD, GHB, commonly referred to as G on the chemsex scene, and magic mushrooms have also raised concerns over the past year. Details of the effects and risks can be found at useful websites such as drugs.ie. The lack of direct flights to cat-producing areas in Africa from Ireland means that cat has very low levels of use here. The European Drug Report also noted a selection of other key issues for harm reduction initiatives to address that are not specific to any particular drug. Initiatives have broadened in some countries to include supervised drug consumption rooms, take-home naloxone programs, and drug checking facilities. Greater benefits also come with co-locating services such as drug checking and drug consumption rooms with other support services. Services also benefit from being more agile in detecting the appearance of new drugs and when they appear and connecting services to prepare for them, along with rapid communications to potential users. The Irish response to nitazenes appearing was clearly highlighted in the report as an example of how it should be done. The report also highlighted a number of areas that need further focus and consideration. HIV infection appears to have spiked in some cities due to the use of infected needles, perhaps connected to the chemsex scene, which provides an environment where sexual health issues are likely to multiply. The diversity and strength of cannabis products continues apace, driven by the growing legal markets elsewhere. Any measures taken in an attempt to reduce harms in response to such developments can still remain controversial in some quarters. The coordinated Irish response has consistently been praised by the EUDA in the past couple of years. Linking detection to rapid assessment and using innovative methods to get the message out to the key risk groups has been central to this effective approach. Thank you for listening to this presentation. If you have any feedback for us, then do please contact us at training@wrdatf.ie. A range of e-learning modules is also available for you to look at. You can find them at the training page of the WRDATF website. Thank you.